कट एक मिनट रुक जा फिर से करते हैं कट करते हैं हाय गाइस आई एम गुरु एंड आई एम एक बार और Hi guys, I am super excited to be back here with you guys again. Yes, today I have another very informative session for you. I am going to be talking about my favorite foundation and concealers. We get a lot of messages across the globe on Instagram, on Facebook, people asking us about my favorite foundations, my favorite concealers, or what should they invest in? Should they buy drugstore foundation? Should they buy expensive foundation? So today in this video, I am going to be talking about my favorite foundations and concealers that I have in my kit, which are expensive as well as drugstore. For me, one of the very important thing is artistry. It doesn't really matter what makeup brands you use. A true makeup artist can create magic with any makeup brand. Trust me, this is the rule that I follow and this is the rule that you should all follow. Do not go by the brand. Polish your artistry, polish your skills and become better makeup artist. Alright guys, so let's begin with the session. My first drugstore favorite foundation is Nykaa Skin Genius foundation. Now this foundation is very mild, it's very liquid. So someone who does not like too heavy coverage, someone who does not like very cakey finish to the face, this is your best friend. This foundation is my favorite foundation for photo shoot and fashion shows. I love using this foundation. The next favorite foundation that I love using is L'Oreal Infallible. Now this foundation is full coverage. This is very good for oily skin. This is very good for combination skin. This is very good for acne prone skin. However, if a dry skin person is using this foundation, I would recommend that they should prep the skin. They should moisturize the skin really well because this foundation is a velvet matte finish. My next favorite foundation is Ordinary. Now this foundation is very good for someone who has very sensitive skin, someone who has acne prone skin. This foundation is full coverage, it's derma tested, so you can use this foundation for your personal use, you can use this foundation for your clients. I love using this foundation on combination skin, on oily skin, on dry skin. Make sure when you use this foundation, obviously there are different tricks and different ways of using this foundation. If you use this with the sponge, you get good heavy coverage, and on the other side, if you use this with the buffing brush, you get a very light finish to the skin. My next favorite foundation is Morphe. Now this foundation comes in different colors. This foundation is full coverage. If you have an oily skin, if you have a combination skin, this foundation can really work magic on your skin. When you are using this foundation for a dry skin, make sure you hydrate your skin very well, you moisturize your skin very well, prep and prime your skin very well to get the best result out of this foundation. So moving on to my favorite concealer, which is Drugstore. I love using Color Bar. Now this concealer is one of my favorite concealer to use on fashion shows and editorial because this gives an amazing finish on the face. Moving on to my favorite expensive foundation, I have picked up the first foundation. Now this foundation is called Black Up. Now this brand is made in France. You can get it anywhere outside India. You can order it online. This is oil-free foundation. It is very good for oily skin. It is very good for combination skin. It's very good for dry skin. However, if you are using this foundation for dry skin, make sure you prep your skin, you hydrate your skin really well. This foundation also is waterproof and it stays for more than 24 hours. So my next favorite foundation is Sephora Stick Foundation. Now the beauty of this foundation, it's very handy. You can keep it in your bag, use it for touch-up. It has very mild coverage and I love using this product for contour and highlighting also. Moving on to next favorite foundation is Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now this foundation is one of my favorite foundation for mature skin. If you have extremely dry skin, if you have extremely acne prone and sensitive skin, this product is your best friend. I love using this foundation because it has full coverage and very hydrating effect on the skin. So moving on to my next favorite foundation, I have picked up NARS foundation. Now this foundation is very liquid for people who do not like very heavy and cakey look on the face. This is your best friend. This foundation is very good for all kind of skins. So moving on to my next favorite foundation, my next favorite foundation is Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This is my favorite foundation for a reason, because it's very liquid. It's very mild on the skin. I love using this foundation on mature skin. I love using this foundation possibly on all kind of skins. It gives me a very nice airbrush feel to the entire face. Alright, so moving on to my next favorite foundation, I picked up the Fenty Beauty. Now this foundation is one of my recent favorite foundation. I love using Fenty. There are times when I don't even use powder on this foundation because it gives me a flawless look on the face without even using too much product. Moving on to my next favorite foundation. Yes, this is Chanel Perfection Lumia. Now I love using this foundation. I have been working with this foundation for so many years, and I love this for so many reasons. The one very important reason I love this foundation is because it's very mild and it gives you a very airbrush flawless finish on the skin. Now moving on to the next favorite foundation is YSL All Hour foundation. This foundation I love using on my brides, on the special occasions, on my celebrities, because this foundation has full coverage and it does not move anywhere for more than 24 hours. Moving on to my next favorite foundation, I love using Kat Von D Tattoo Foundation. Now I love this foundation for many reasons. People who have very oily skin, acne prone skin, and they're looking for full coverage foundation, this is your best friend. Now this foundation has full coverage, so small amount of foundation works a long way. Moving on to my next favorite foundation, it is Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. As the name suggests, it is airbrush foundation. It gives you a very airbrush kind of a feel on your skin when you're wearing this foundation. This foundation is medium to full coverage. You can use it with the sponge, you can use it with the beauty blender, you can use it with buffing brush to get a variation in your foundation and the look that you want on your face. Moving on to my last favorite foundation from this category is this French foundation called Les des Ponts. Now I love this foundation for a lot of reasons. This foundation is very luxurious. It gives you an amazing feel and finish onto your makeup once you have it on the skin. Alright guys, moving on to my favorite concealer from high-end category. My first concealer is Makeup Forever Full Coverage Concealer. I love this concealer for many reasons. This concealer is full coverage, it stays more than 24 hours, and it is waterproof. So if you're looking for something which is long stay, waterproof, sweat proof, this is your best friend. Moving on to my next favorite concealer. This is Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer. Now this concealer comes in a lip gloss kind of packaging. It has an applicator. Directly put it under your eyes and blend it. This is also very long lasting because the name says Tattoo Concealer and has an amazing finish to the concealer. So moving on to my next favorite concealer is Tarte Creaseless Concealer. Now as the name suggests, creaseless, we all struggle to cover up the creases under eye, and unfortunately we are not able to conceal it completely. Now this concealer would help you to create a very flawless looking skin. Moving on to my next favorite concealer is Tarte Shape Tape. You guys all familiar with this brand, with this concealer, one of the best concealer of 2019. Full coverage, stays more than 24 hours and has an amazing finish to this concealer. So moving on to my next favorite concealer, I love using Too Faced Born This Way. Now this concealer again comes in a lip gloss form with an applicator. Directly put it on this area, blend it, and it is so amazing. It stays very long, it's very creamy, it's very hydrating, and it gives you a very flawless finish. Moving on to my next favorite concealer is NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It is one of my favorite concealer to use on my clients, to use on my celebrities, to work on the editorials. This is very creamy, hydrating concealer. Works magic if you have dry under eye area, and it gives you a flawless finish. The next one is NARS Soft Matte Concealer. Now this comes in a very small jar. This concealer is very good for oily skin, very good for combination skin. As I mentioned earlier, very good for dry skin if you make sure that skin is hydrated and prepped really well. So moving on to my next favorite concealer, I have Kevyn Aucoin. Now this comes in a very small jar. The texture of this concealer is very creamy. So if you're looking a concealer for a very mature skin, very dry skin, and full coverage, now this is your best friend. Sometimes I use this concealer all over the face to get full coverage look, and it works magic. Trust you me. Moving on to my next favorite concealer is called Amazing Concealers. Now this brand is made in USA. I think I got this while I was traveling somewhere. This concealer is very creamy. So if you're looking for a concealer for a very mature skin, for a very dry skin, this is the concealer that can do wonders on your skin. So you must try this concealer. Guys, do not forget to subscribe my channel, like, comment and share. So it was absolutely fun creating this video for you guys. I hope you like it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
ऐसे ही मत रखो, थोड़ा ऐसे भी हिला सकते हो, ऐसे ऐसे जादू नहीं करना।